Picture this. You've got this massive logistics puzzle, right? And every single move is worth millions of dollars, but you're planning it all with basically guesswork. So what if you could swap that uncertainty for a crystal ball? Let's dive into this incredible case study and see how predictive simulation isn't just changing maritime logistics, it is completely rewriting the rulebook. So, our story kicks off with a major steel conglomerate over in India. They were facing this huge bottleneck in their supply chain, just trying to move critical iron ore. Now, the problem wasn't a lack of ships or cargo. No, it was the sheer, almost mind-bending complexity of the route itself. And this image, it really captures the feeling of the challenge, doesn't it? It's just organized chaos. You've got hundreds of variables, super tight spaces, and just immense pressure. Every single ship you see just waiting there, that's money, just draining away. A single miscalculation could send a ripple effect that messes up the whole supply chain for days. And here's the thing you have to understand. These weren't just separate problems. They were all piling on top of each other. First, you have this crazy complex route that's part river, part open sea. Then you've got these strict time windows because of tides and, get this, no navigating at night. And the cherry on top, the most important part of the channel can only handle 2 vessels at a time. Trying to schedule this by hand, it was like playing 3D chess in the dark. Impossible.
All that complexity, it just led to a world of pain for the planners. I mean, the old way of doing things was so inefficient, super stressful, and you better believe it was incredibly costly. It was just this constant battle of reacting to problems instead of actually preventing them.
And this slide just lays out the massive shift perfectly. On the left, that's the old world, living in Excel spreadsheets, basically relying on gut feelings and always putting out fires. Then, look at the right. That's the new world. Automated simulations giving you exact predictions, which lets your team plan proactively and get way ahead of problems before they even start. So how in the world did they make that leap? Well, the answer was this incredible piece of technology, the Maritime Voyage simulation platform. And this wasn't just another dot tracking tool. No, this was a fundamental change in how they saw and managed their entire operation. The key idea here, the magic, is the digital twin. The platform created a perfect virtual copy of the entire logistics network. I'm talking every ship, every route, every single constraint was modeled in the system. This let them stop just, watching dots on a map and start actually predicting the future of their fleet with unbelievable accuracy. Okay, let's quickly break down how this thing actually works. First up, you have a live dashboard, so you can see what's happening in real time. Behind that is the powerhouse, a simulation engine that models the entire voyage, factoring in everything from tides to how many ships can fit in the channel. Then there's something called a vessel state machine, which sounds technical, but it just meticulously tracks every single stage of the journey for super deep analysis. And finally, my favorite part, the killer feature, scenario testing. Planners could finally ask, hey, what if a storm hits? Or what if a port gets delayed? And see the impact instantly. Game changer. Okay, so the tech is seriously impressive, right? But what about the results? Did it actually work? This is where the story gets really good. Let's look at the hard numbers that prove just how big this transformation was. So let's start with the big one. Get this, a staggering 40% reduction in idle vessel time. Just stop and think about that for a second. That's time when a multi-million-dollar asset is literally just sitting there, waiting and burning cash. This platform found all the bottlenecks and let them schedule with so much precision that they wiped out nearly half of all that wasted time. Wow.
And what happens when your ships are actually moving instead of waiting? Well, your throughput just skyrockets. They saw a 35% increase in the amount of cargo they moved. And that means a more reliable, consistent flow of raw materials feeding their steel plants, which, let's be honest, is the whole point of the supply chain. The impact on the bottom line was just as dramatic. They saw a 25% drop in logistics costs for every ton moved, and a 30% jump in how well they were using their entire fleet. I mean, these aren't just little tweaks. This is a fundamental boost to the company's financial health. This image really says it all. This is the new reality. It's the difference between a fleet that's just running on chance and one that's moving like a perfectly synchronized orchestra. Every single movement is planned, it's optimized, and it's predictable. This is what real, data-driven control actually looks like. But the benefits went way beyond just the day-to-day operations. Strategically, this was a massive win. They could now deal with risks before they even happened, make way smarter data-backed decisions about things like buying new ships, and build a real culture of operational excellence, all based on a single source of truth.
So, all of this really brings us to the final and I think most important question. This company completely transformed their business by moving away from guesswork and embracing certainty. It really makes you wonder, in a world with supply chains this complex, how many critical business decisions are still being made in the dark?
This powerful transformation, by the way, was engineered by the team at CloudXStack. They specialize in building exactly these kinds of resilient, smart digital systems. So if you want to see more about how they're turning complicated data into decisive action, you should definitely check them out. Thanks so much for watching.